The main benefit to working with jerks. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. Working with jerks. Even the word jerk is kind of a funny thing because in a very short period of time, relatively short period of time, the word jerk used to mean someone that was stupid. And it was used more often in that way, kind of in relation with moron, or it'd be the same type of synonym. And nowadays it means more of a person that's just kind of crude and mean. Oftentimes a jerk is a person that's mean, at least in American English. That's how I hear it used most often. So that's how I'm using it here today. I'm talking about the situation when you're working with a jerk. Okay? And there's one huge advantage to working with a jerk. And that huge advantage is honesty. Most people aren't honest enough to come out and say when they don't like something, when they're not happy about something, when what their true opinion is of something, because they're afraid of getting fired, they're afraid of getting of a bad situation occurring, they're afraid of hurting people's feelings, all this other stuff. So a huge advantage of being around jerks is that you get that direct, honest feedback as quickly as possible. So how do you survive working with a jerk? Is being as direct as you can back to them without tossing a fence on it. I think most of the time it really isn't the fact that someone's being honest, it's the fact that they do it in a crude manner. They oftentimes will have like a little extra zing in there, a little emotional thing in with whatever offense that they're giving, or that they're trying to get a reaction out of you. That's really an issue with jerks. But if you can do good at not reacting and almost ignoring that piece of it and just taking the good, leaving the bad, the old salad bar effect of just leaving the rest there, I think you'll be happy with the results. And you should surround yourself with at least a few of these people. It tends to be the opposite. If you're a business owner or you're an executive, if you're one of the people in charge, oftentimes we surround ourselves with nice people, we surround ourselves with friendly people, and with the proverbial yes men. The people that say yes to everything that you come up with and don't argue and don't give you at least a contrary point of view, whether they agree with it or not, a devil's advocate, so to speak. It's really interesting that I thought about this. I've talked about this before, this book, Winning Through Intimidation, one of the best business books you can read in terms of understanding psychology, especially with one-on-one relationships in business. And even if especially if you're a solopreneur, if you're doing a lot of things on your own, but you still need to be able to work with other people, what is the secret of that? And he talks about this in his first chapter. He talks about the different types of people. I thought it was the first chapter. Let me see here. I just had my finger on it and now it's gone. Where did I put it? He talks about the three different types of people, what he calls the three. It's his three-person theory, and that there's three different types of people you run into. And the first type of person that he refers to is the person that is really straightforward and honest with you about the fact that they're out for themselves, and that they're looking out for number one, and that they're going to do everything they can to make as much money off of you as possible, or get as much value out of your relationship as possible, because they're in it for them. And he discusses how important this person is because they're being honest. And that most people believe that somewhere deep down, that in the end, most people are going to do whatever they want to in regards to their own self-interest. And you just have to know that ahead of time. Whether they fool themselves into believing it's not true or not, in the end, when the going gets tough, people are going to do the thing that is in their own best self-interest versus the thing that isn't. And the person that knows that about themselves and is straightforward about it will oftentimes be more honest along the way. So a lot of these things, it comes with time. You start picking these things up as you go along, but it never surprises me the people that surround themselves with people who give them beautiful words and beautiful encouragement when it isn't necessarily needed, and they surround themselves with these people and they wonder why things tend to fall apart around them. They don't realize that they're poisoning their own well with people that are still out for themselves but aren't being straightforward with you across the board, or they just don't have anything important to say or to contribute, which is, I don't know which is worse. Hopefully that's helpful to you. It's just a quick thought of tonight. Check out the book Winning Through Intimidation, Robert Ringer. Absolute classic. Great book. Also check out my book, 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business. It's all about how to overcome competitive forces, or the concept of competitive forces in general. You can get a free copy at amazonproofbook.com. That's all the time I got for today. You have a great night. We'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.